Hello, welcome everyone. It's 4 o'clock on Thursday, September 11th, 2025. We're in the City Council chambers, and this is the Library Board meeting. Our first agenda item is to approve the agenda. We get those by email in advance, so I'll take a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We've got a short agenda, so all in favor of approving the agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And we have the approval of the minutes from our August 14th board meeting, which also we received by email. If anyone has, I'll take a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll move.
And a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any comments on the minutes? Any corrections or amplifications? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes from our last meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have minutes, and now we have a financial report for August of 2025. April?
We are 67.4% through 2025, and our budget is approximately 71.09% expended. Some of the bills that we paid during August included $210 to the American Library Association and $170 to the Minnesota Library Association for American Library Association, Public Library Association, and Minnesota Library Association memberships for either myself or the library as an institution, depending on which one it was. And the ALA and PLA memberships are bundled into that $210 together. We also paid $250 to MLA for conference attendance for our Programming and Technology Services librarian, $281 to Scholastic for summer reading program prizes. Those were our giveaway books that the Friends of the Library funded. We also paid $887 to SHI International to replace a PC for our LibData server, which is the service that we use to manage our public computer stations and the printing that we offer from those. And then we also paid our second half of our fees to the Traverse des Sioux Regional Library, which was $14,880. And that is the conclusion of those fees for 2025. We also paid $11,455 to Library Furniture International for our upcoming shelving projects in the children's room, in the picture book area, and then next to the service desk, we're adding some shelving for some of our specialty collections, like the board games and things. That payment to Library Furniture International is the 50% deposit that they require to begin those projects. And then I just wanted to note some of the lines that appear more highly or overspent. The special events programming line includes $8,875 worth of TDS grants that we have now been reimbursed for. I received those checks the beginning of this month. So that line, when you consider those reimbursements, is actually about 40% expended. And then, although we used fund balance for the badge entry cabling for the entrances at the library, it's still coded to the contractual maintenance building line. And so when you consider that expense coming from the fund balance, that line is spent at approximately 63%. And then overall, our budget is approximately 64% expended when we remove the spending for the Mellon Foundation grant in the Library Technology Grant and Library Furniture Grant lines, as well as those programming grants and the badge cabling project. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments? As usual, things seem to be running along rather smoothly. So, okay.
Just a heads up, I am looking into some options for furniture for our public computer stations. And we received a donation, I think 3 years ago now, from Charlotte and Hobart Anderson of $60,000. And so I'm in the next coming months, once we have a better idea of what type of furniture we would like for that area, I may be bringing a request for using some of that funding for that furniture.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, no other comments on the financial report and summary. Let's talk about the department activities report and statistics for August.
Library page Megan Grotham resigned from her position. Her last day with the library was September 10th. We plan to post the position, but that was just this Wednesday, so we're still in the process there. And I was able to sit in on our maintenance technician interviews on September 4th. I wouldn't be that person's direct supervisor. I just supervise the work they do for the library. They report to the city's building official, but they provide our maintenance and custodial work at the library, fire stations, and the airport. So I sat in on those interviews. An offer has been made, and we're just waiting to hear back at this point. And then just an update on the Institute of Museum and Library Services funding. The House panel that oversees the portions of the budget related to that funding have proposed keeping the funding at the 2025 levels, and that was as of September 2nd. And then the Union and American Library Association lawsuits, as well as the state's attorney general lawsuits, continue. And in fact, just today, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the First Circuit ruled that IMLS must remain open pending their resolution of the government's appeal in the state's attorney general case.
Thank you.
And then moving on to statistics, we had 34 study room reservations in August compared to 32 in July, and I think it was 26 in June. So that continues to slowly increase as we get word out about those services. And then our door count was up slightly over August 2024, but our physical circulation was down slightly. And our Patreon computer use was up 37% from last August. And we think that's mainly due to a group of teens who has been really regular visiting the library this summer. And they've been coming back after school, so that's great too. And then our Libby circulation also continues to increase. It's up 21% over 2024. And that is largely driven by increases to the audiobook, or e-audiobook use.
Okay, any questions or comments? I love that this study rooms are being used. We waited a long time to get those in, so I'm glad people are appreciating them.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
any other comments?
I appreciated the partnering that you did during the, Week of Remembrance with the Historical Society.
Yes, our Programming and Technology Services librarian and our Youth Services librarian have been meeting regularly with different arts organizations that put on events in the community. So that includes the Brown County Historical Society, State Street Theater, the Grand Center for Arts and Culture, Luca Books. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anybody, but they've been meeting regularly to kind of brainstorm and collaborate and strengthen those partnerships. So that's been really great too, because it's
That's
led to more
nice.
partnerships on our programming.
Okay, any other comments? Otherwise, we'll move on to the September programming calendar.
All right, so we have a bunch of great programs in September. This evening, September 11th at 6:30 p.m., we have Disasters in Brown County presented by Carla Feld. So she'll be talking about natural disasters throughout the history of Brown County. So we invite you to the library to join us for that. On Saturday, September 13th at 2 p.m., our Teen Video Game Club will be meeting. This is their first meeting of the school year. And then Monday, September 15th at 7 p.m., we have Wayfinding Stars to Tahiti with Stephen Thompson. Well, he'll be talking about, he took a journey where they just did wayfinding just with the stars and nature on
Cool.
on
Navigating.
yeah.
Cool.
And then on Tuesday, September 16th at 6:30 p.m., the Minnesota Valley Civil War Roundtable Series starts up again. They usually meet from September to May on the third Thursday at 6:30. Friday, September 19th at 3 p.m., we have Songs and Stories of the American West with Carrie Grombacher. So he'll be discussing the history of songs and stories and performing them as well. And then on Monday, September 22nd at 6:30 p.m., we have Scott Sparlin, who will be discussing his new children's book, which is about Jack Bunyan, Paul Bunyan's son. And then Tuesday, September 23rd at 6 p.m. and Thursday, September 25th at 10 a.m. we have sensory playtime. So kids can join us for stories, songs, and lots of sensory play. And then Saturday, September 27th at 2 p.m. we have a film screening of The Farewell, which was created by Peter Buckley, a local performer.
Right, great. Lots going on at the library. Any comments or things you want to lift up any further?
I just will note that if you're looking for more information on any of these programs, you can visit our website, www.newulmlibrary.org, and choose library events. And there's more of a description of each of them as well as the full calendar.
Great, great. And moving on to the Brown County Library Board update.
We met with the Brown County Library Board, I believe it was August 28th. And the commissioners, we requested a $5,000 increase total for the Brown County Libraries to the county funds for 2026. The commissioners were in favor of an increase of 3.35%, so not the full $5,000. It was, I think it ended up being like $3,200. What they were trying to do was make our 2026 appropriations an even $100,000. So they are in favor of an increase, but not the full amount requested, just because they had other requests that they're trying to balance this
Okay,
year. It's a
understandable.
Tough budget year.
Everybody wants money.
But they all did make comments that they appreciate library services and recognize their importance, and we're glad to meet with us about that. Yvonne also attended that meeting. I don't know if you have anything else you'd like to add about
I
it.
don't really think so, other than just to restate that they definitely are supportive, but we're looking to keep everything at 3% increases this year, and we got a smidge above 3%. So.
Great. Good, thank you, Yvonne.
And then the next Brown County Library Board meeting is scheduled for Monday, November 10th at 7 p.m. at the Comfrey Library.
Okay, on to Comfrey, yay. Okay, we have one, it's called an action item, but we really don't take action. We just look at it. It's and it's resolution number 2025-26 it's the first reading of the 2026 library fees and fines schedule. And the City of New Ulm annually reviews its schedule of fees, and as a part of this, the library is required to update its fees and fee schedules, and the library director proposes the attached schedule for 2026 fees and fines. It does not, and I'm sure you all noticed this, there's no changes. There's no changes. It's the same as last year. So the changes proposed by the library board members will be incorporated after the second reading, then at their October 9th library board meeting, then it will be submitted to the finance department. So for final approval by the city council. So that's all we've got. Anyone? No changes on the fees or fines, so that's that.
And if anyone wants to see the draft fee and fine schedule, if you navigate to the agendas page of the City of New Ulm website, you can see this draft in our library board packet.
Okay. All right. Is there any other business to come before the board? Last chance. Last chance. All right. Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.